This is your weekend market review for Saturday, March 2nd, 2024. Let's go. Hey everyone, this is my channel to help investors and traders develop a probability-based mindset to succeed. Also try and keep friends informed of what's going on in the markets and the economy, and also a little real estate content as well. This is Dan Max at DXP Realty, aka The Trading Agent, and this is your weekend market review for Saturday, March 2nd, 2024. How time has moved quickly. Interesting week that just wrapped up. The data was absolutely terrible. If you go back and look at it, you can go through it if you need. Posted a lot of it in the Discord room, posted on Twitter. It's interesting to see the market rally. But if you had the Stock Traders Almanac, we know the first day of March is usually a bullish day. Money came flowing in pretty hard. If you had to stop out of positions, you had to stop out of positions. If you're long positions, again, I recommend highly that you roll up your stops. Be careful, be safe. Do whatever you need to do to make sure you lock in profits, because as one person to another, honestly, this action is extremely dangerous, but you don't know how long it can last. And that's the key here. No matter what you're doing, again, define your risk, limit your losses, be aware. New to the channel, check out the Discord room, link in the description below. I mean, we could go through the data real quick. I mean, it was bad. It was bad. Only thing, GDP, again, we talked about government spending, but PCE came in basically flat. But Chicago PMI is still bad. Pending home sales were a mess. Consumer confidence is down. Durable orders were down. New home sales, kind of in line, but manufacturing weaker. Global manufacturing, I don't really know if I believe in that, but construction spending, I mean, there wasn't anything good. It's difficult. If you're new to the channel, check out thetradingagent.com. Get your recommended reading. Get your interactive brokers. I'm telling you, some broker is going to go belly up at some point. And then if you want more insights, click on things and get your Marcus. Get your 5.5% currently. All right, so you're new to the channel, like, subscribe, and notification bell. Did a few live chats this week, as we always do. Like, follow, subscribe on, I guess it's called X. It's so hard. So if you got any questions in general, want to schedule something, check it out. If you need any real estate help, always here to help. I know a lot of folks have questions where they're buying, selling, looking at investment properties. Let me help you out with that too. No problemo. Or if you just want to talk about trading. So Fed Watch Tools, as of Friday, was unavailable. It's hit the refresh. Eat fresh, refresh, Subway. Just kidding. I mean, there's nothing coming at this point in the March meeting. Bitcoin, interesting. Breaking out or faking out. The volume at the highs is nuts. Again, this is another one of those scenarios. Again, these straight line moves have to be very dangerous because they can go into chop or they can flop. And again, I've said this, and I'm on record. I mean, I'm no problem with being bullish long term, essentially, but I don't trust anything at this point because I know what the market's gonna like. The Feds have to try to kill liquidity. They have to try to kill inflation. Will they win? Probably not, but they're not going to go out with a fight. Oil, man, it's really trying to break out over the recent range highs. Natty gas, as we talked about, great trade buying down here. I think, again, I don't know if you'll get a retest, but assume such. Because, again, demand destruction, if the Feds try to do what I think they can do, meaning like they'll put pressure on the market, there's nothing safe, guys. I mean, I don't know what's safe. People will argue gold. I mean, I've seen gold not act safe. So just be careful. If you also want to check out Randy Howe, if you're working on some of the psychological things, you're struggling at times, that's the guy. All right, dollars we talked about holding up really well, trying to chop at the 20-day. TLT finally got over. I mean, now again, like this is one of those days where new money just comes in. It looked like he was buying everything. Got to sustain over this 93, 94 area. The VIX, I mean, VIX crushed Friday. I mean, I think they're saying 20 straight Fridays up. There you go, channel low. I mean, I'm mind boggled by it, but whatever. I mean, just is what it is. Vixen, chopping, VIX starting to again find a base. We'll see. I mean, it typically has been holding down here. SPY breaking out. New highs, riding the channel, as we call it, riding the lightning. Got to give it credit where credit's due. I mean, it's absolutely, I don't know what the best way to describe it is. It just is what it is. I mean, we've talked about like this straight line action isn't sustainable, but did we not say, I mean, months ago, I said, if inflation kind of like continues on and they can't get a control of it, I mean, could we get a runaway market? Always talked about that as a possibility. Will it? I mean, so far it's looking runaway-ish. It's not sustainable, but just is what it is. QQQ. I mean, look at this. Congrats. I mean, if you've been long, good for you. Congrats. Shortened, been a hard thing could end it. But the thing that's hard is that the whole market isn't rising, and if you go deeper into it, it's a very diverging market. Like in that, there's less leadership. IWM, is it trying to break out? I don't know. DIA, I mean, had nothing today. I mean, you would think this would be up like 400, 500, 600 points. No. Gold, a lot of people are calling this the breakout. Decent volume at the highs, close back at the highs. Give it credit. If it breaks out, it breaks out. A lot of people are saying, well, should I buy it now? Hey, that's your guess. I mean, people are saying buying silver in the miners, and it's like, okay, these donkeys have been lagging, and this is where I'm concerned. Is it just new money, new month flowing in, or is this actually really a bottom? Because people argue double bottom, agreed. It's just whether we come back and retest. I mean, I've said this and I'm on record. Again, the best time would be to buy this when the Feds pump the liquidity. That's the easiest time. We've seen when the VIX spikes, nothing is safe in the miner section. But hey, if you bought it, you're trading around it, happy for you. Do it. You know, we talked about like near term. They're at places that make sense near term. So if you're looking at the Stock Traders Almanac, you know, Monday, Friday, all looking bearish. Just in the Almanac. We'll see. AEM, bouncing. Not surprised. AG, talked about these levels are just, I mean, it's just painful, these names. Newmont, you would think this would be so close to breaking out, but down the lows, PAAS. I mean, it's just hard. It's just really hard. I mean, again, if you want to pull the trigger on them, you go right ahead. I'd rather be a little late on these than early. And if they go, they go. Taiwan semi, look at this. I mean, the retest on Friday. I mean, everybody was piling into semis. I mean, it's like there's tons of things in the red. And then there was like the few things they were piling into were semis and certain tech names. Look at that. Taiwan semi. Look at that wick. I mean, they were just is what it is. At the close, I mean, I could show you, but the volume was huge. Go look at it. Micron, here you go. Same kind of thing. Pops up. Where's it going to end? These gaps and traps, I mean, it's insane. I think this thing's gone from 64 to 95. AMD breaks out. Congrats to the bulls. Break over the channel. Man, huge volume at the highs. Where it stops, I don't know. NVIDIA, we talked about how to break below, like, I don't know, 760. Now it's right back at the highs. Keep an eye on it. SMCI joining the S&P 500 next week. I mean, does it rally back to the highs? Keep an eye on it. Because, again, these things look very suspicious. But, hey, straight line moves at the end. Not surprised. Intel chopping around. This thing's in dogging. SMH. Like, look at this. I mean, this is not sustainable, but it is what it is. I mean, that's the thing. Got to be careful. Adobe, we talked about this, been lagging, chopping around, hits a 200-day bounce. Apple makes new lows, chopping around. People are like, what happens if Apple wakes up? And it's like, well, we'll see. I mean, it's hard to trust the market when Apple's just making new lows. Amazon holding up pretty well. Credit where credit's due. Meta finally got 500. It was like, is it ever going to get there? Because everyone was talking about it. Well, there it is. The big 5-0. CRM, earnings all over the place. Down, up, down, up. Got to give it credit. Holding up. Google, here you go. I mean, Gemini, to me, is why it's down. You're at the trend line. You would think Google would be acting better. Same thing with Microsoft. This 415 area is really, really, really important. NDAQ, we've talked about this being a dogging, doing what it's doing. MicroStrategy with Bitcoin holding up. Give it credit. It broke out. Look at these gaps. Run away. I mean, this thing's done this before. Just remember, roll up your stops. I don't know how many people forget like the past, and they just like, oh, I'm gonna hold on. Okay, I mean, I'm not saying it can't go higher in time, but this is where you got to be careful. Got to be careful. Netflix, I mean, I'm impressed it's holding up. I'm surprised people are buying it, but that's the nature of the beast. New money, new month. People were piling on even good old Roblox. Got a little buy here. Clinton's favorite, not Clinton, sorry. Let me restart. Our favorite trader, Nancy Pelosi's favorite stock as of buy, not so well. Hit resistance, backing off. Tesla, you think would be up 10, 15 points. No, barely up 70 cents. So again, it's a hard market to pay attention. Like, no, it's right. Like Airbnb, here you go. Breaking out, we'll see. I mean, Costco hits the big 750. Okay, chopping around. Starbucks, you think this thing would be going off? The world is like, everybody's great. Everyone's buying. Nope, this thing is back at the channel lows. Keep an eye on it. FedEx, right? Like, this just bid up like $5, $10, $15. Hits the 200-day, down $2. Caterpillar, chopping around, held up pretty well. Making new highs. Watch this. Nucor. Again, this is where it's hard to trust. Like Nucor, steel, like this should be breaking out. And then on that Friday, I mean, it's coming right back. I mean, you would think this would be up $4 or $5, $6. X, another material name, nothing. VALE, nothing. Right? Just nothing. Arrow. Okay, got to give it credit here. Back testing the trend line. Could it be going stronger? I mean, keep an eye on that one. That one's acting better. CCJ, as we talked about, has a hold this like 40 area. Okay, we'll see. I mean, commodity names as a whole, they got to bounce on Friday. In some places, some didn't. CCF's been holding up real. Mosaic, I expect this up like $3 or $4. NTR, just flat, nothing. Whole lot of nothing. Aaron, flat, just chopping around. This is where it gets a little spooky too, is like, look at the financials on a Friday. You think this thing would be ripping. No, up 6 cents. No, down 6 cents. JP Morgan, down 77 cents, right? Morgan Stanley, the dog, up a little bit, but nothing. Bank of America, right? This should be like ripping. No, down 17 cents. Goldman Sachs, right? This should be up 10, 15, down $1. And then KRE, we talked about the trash and the trash and the financial. I mean, another bank probably going belly up next week. Just keep an eye on this stuff, right? XBI. Talked about it breaking out, then giving it back, chopping around. You got to get now over the 103. Just please, whatever you do, be careful, because there's a lot of things going on that it's just not, everything doesn't look great. Some things look good, some don't. Solar, I mean, is this just new money coming in, piling in? I mean, these things we talked about being oversold near term and it's going to be choppy and sloppy, but like ENPH, I mean, you got to watch these levels. First Solaire, and we talked about post earnings chopping, watching this. I mean, again, it's like, wow, it comes right back into this box. It's hard, y'all. I mean, if you got to go bullish, go bull. HYG, no problem. I mean, it's a trader's market. Again, I'm amazed anyone would be buying corporate debt. You got to be high out of your mind. Oil, so we talked about a great potential in time. I like it when it pulls back, because again, the Feds are going to try again. We'll see what they end up doing. But in the sense of like, again, I don't think there's a large amount of downside to oil. I've said that forever going into, because we got supply constraints, right? Natural gas, if you bought UNG around 14, yeah, we'll see. Again, I don't really like the UNG. The best trade has been shorting KOLD. Look at that. Poof. DKN dump truck. XOP, okay, here we go, the breakout. Is it a pro gap and go or a pro gap novice gap trap? Just keep an eye on it. CVE, some of our favorites. Like, man, look at that. Interesting action. I thought this was breaking out. Nope, I guess not. Valero, we talked about the gasoline names chopping at the highs. MPC, same thing, chopping at the highs. Looks okay. Exxon Mobil. Here's another name, right, that gaps up, hits the 200-day. Doji, I mean, these just very confusing. Very confusing. Occidental, you would think this would be up like $5, $10. It's just stuck. $5, $10 like off the lows. I guess it is, but I don't know. I mean, like bigger moves. Like everybody should be piling into Oxy if this is really going to break out. We'll see. EQT, I mean, I thought this would be up $2. Nothing. I mean, just a whole lot of nothing. Last but not least, Flex LNG. We talked about this one long-term. Love the idea that we'll be exporting natural gas. I have no doubts. We probably will. Here you go. Here are the levels. Natural gas is cheap, plentiful, burns clean, or whatever. I mean, again, it's your guess as good as mine about this stuff. So, again, let me revisit for next week. You've got jobs numbers, important. You got factory orders. You got a little bit of earnings. You got the Abercrombie and Finch monster on Wednesday morning. You've got some consumer credit Thursday. You've got some more. You got Avago, Broadcom, Costco, Marvell, Oracle on Thursday. And then again, the big jobs numbers. And they're expecting them to go from 353,000 jobs added last month to 195 on non-farm payrolls. And so again, you look at the productivity, it's supposed to come down. Average work week, average hour earnings, all coming down projected. The average work week is up. Average hourly earnings are down. Again, this economy is not sustainable, but it just is what it is, man. I mean, we've talked about like the Google search for soft landing and how that's played out. So, all right, if you have any questions, please reach out. Always here to help. I appreciate you guys. Let me know if you have any specific questions about specific stocks. Don't hesitate. If you're also, again, looking at real estate, buying, be aware. It's time to start shopping. Now, again, don't go out there and you don't need to rush to buy a house now, but it's time to start looking. And if you're selling, you got to have a plan. I'm seeing houses pop up and selling slowly. We talked about the home sales numbers. The number of listings are up. Huge. The times are starting to increase. So if you're trying to get sold quick, you got to do things differently. Let me know how I can help. If anything, I will see you guys and gals in the Discord room. Holler at your boy. Have an amazing weekend. Talk to you soon. Oh, by the way, I will be out of town next week. I forgot to say. I don't know why I waited till the end, but I will be out of town. If you didn't know that, now you know. Hey, thanks for watching. If you have any questions, stop by the Discord room. A link is in the description below. Also, if you'd like to help support more free content, the PayPal link is in the description as well. I appreciate your continued support of the channel.